When I think of Dana and Mark Fallick, I think of presence. Right? They are here. Not only have they sent their children to Hebrew school and been there for the various events that go with that, they've been here with their children on Shabbat mornings and at holiday services, and not as escorts, but as participants.
And it's always been a pleasure seeing them sitting together with the family, the two kids, when they were little, growing up, becoming bar and bat mitzvah, and to sit together as a family is a nice role model to set for other families. So that's been nice. The kids have read Torah on numerous occasions.
Throughout our entire lives, it's been, you're Jewish and we want you to be involved. And one of the ways that we want you to be involved is by showing us. And so they've showed us how to be involved and why you should love Judaism so much, and it's kind of worn off on us.
That's something that I think speaks volumes in terms of their commitment to our community, commitment to Judaism, and commitment to Shabbat. You know, Shabbat is such a cornerstone of our community here and our experiences over the course of the year that we do at TBS, and that's something that the Fallicks really understand.
Dana and Mark together chaired the Torah Over project. They just did a fabulous job. It was a hugely successful project, and I think it really spoke to, who they are. That project was all about restoring a Torah from the Holocaust, and it really spoke to, their values of L'dor V'dor.
Dana and Mark took the time to not only shape the committee, but to look at each individual person who would be serving on the committee and considering his or her unique talents and matching them to what was needed to accomplish that incredible project.
Telling them about this Torah and seeing how much it meant to each family across the board, everyone was just so moved. Getting to be part of that was just, I think, the most meaningful experience in terms of an event that we've had for me at TBS.
I know my parents really enjoyed working on it, and so did we.
It created like a very memorable experience for us.
And very meaningful too.
Dana is very much the type of person, the type of leader who gets things done. As president, I knew that I could, and I did, ask her to help with things and take on roles and projects that needed a fresh set of eyes.
Dana has been great to work with in securing our 3 semi-exclusive caterers and putting those contracts together. She puts a lot of time and effort into all that she does. I'm especially looking forward to working with Dana further as we prepare to renovate our library.
Each project that she's been involved with has been really successful, and now they just brought on a 3rd caterer here. Dana was a part of that. It's just those little details that you don't think about, that you might not really be aware of, but those little things that she's usually behind that, making that happen.
It was because of my partnership with Dana and her help and her support that we're able to move the schools forward. We worked really hard and had a lot of conversations, a lot of meetings, but we were able to push forward and get our schools going the directions that they needed to. And that was because of her love and her dedication to this place.
As president, I feel, very lucky that she's been on the executive committee as a vice president, and whether it's social action or catering, she just throws herself in and does a great job. I mean, I know that Dana and Mark are also, supporters of JNF and JFCS and RAMAH.
Camp is important to both of them in their own upbringing and youth movements as well, so they knew almost right away that Jewish camp was going to be really important for their children. And thank God RAMAH's been the beneficiary of those 2 wonderful children. We've had the chance to watch them grow up at our camp and become the leaders just like their parents. They had a lot of feedback about their experience, and I actually think this is a nice sort of, it typifies who they are as a couple. They wanted to share everything that was wonderful. They also wanted to share in a really constructive way things that could improve or things from their experience that could have been better.
Mark and Rebecca have a special presentation for you. Put your hands together for them. Mark is this laid-back guy who you would never know it because he's just kind of a quiet person.
Easygoing.
Easygoing, likes to, just kind of follow along. But, there's a side of Mark. If anybody's been to a bar bat mitzvah, they know Mark likes to dance. He's a dancer.
Right,
he will
he
get
does.
out on the dance floor and he will tear it up.
Let's hear for Mark and Rebecca!
When Dana takes on a task, she doesn't just serve on the committee. She inevitably becomes a key leader on the committee, as she did with our Kiddush committee. Dana really helped to strategize so much of what we do in terms of the congregational Kiddush, but then followed up and took the time to select all of the flowers that we have, that we put out on our Shabbat tables every week. She went to the store and she picked out just the right flowers and just the right colors and created these beautiful centerpieces.
A synagogue is really built on a lot of different things, a lot of different leaders. And I think one thing that's been very special about Dana is the way in which she's been able to work not only in front of the scenes, like in Torah Ora and on the board and the executive committee, for example, but also behind the scenes with the work she's done with our caterers and other ways like that makes such a big impact on so many of our families and their celebrations, where it might not even be realized how hard she works on that and how many details that involves. And Dana's done that in so many different ways at the synagogue that I think in all those small detail sorts of ways that are not small and really not detailed, really make a big impact on our community and for our families as well.
Dana and Mark, Mazel Tov from Machaneh Ramah, Ta Yoga.